Hello everyone, welcome to Ring the Bell. This is a wrestling game show where the points don't matter and the only prize is bragging rights. I'm your host, the Macho Fan, and as always, we're going to have 4 wrestling creators on and they're going to compete in 3 rounds of different debate style topics, and they'll receive points for making interesting or compelling ideas, and then they'll lose points for backtracking or repeating themselves or others. Now, let's meet our contestants. All right, and joining us first, they are coming fresh from SmackDown. You saw them on Wrestling Chop Shop on YouTube. You've seen him on TikTok, and now he's ready to ring the bell. Please welcome Axel Guzman, 1017.
What's up, everybody? Appreciate you, Macho Fan, for having me on. Let's get this started. You guys know why I'm here.
I'm excited. I'm excited you're on here with us. And then also on here with us, you see him in the top corner. He's hailing from Pennsylvania. You can find him on Twitch. And right now he's looking to branch out. Let's give it up for Misception.
What's up, everybody? I may have quit TikTok, but I didn't quit doing whatever the hell I want to do. So find me wherever you find me.
There we go. And you're finding him here today on Ring the Bell. And also returning to Ring the Bell, he is my favorite TikToker. So it's your wrestling favorite TikToker's favorite TikToker. It's the host of Russell Endures Monday Night Raw. Hey, welcome back, WrestleMania.
You know, it's the Miz's 42nd birthday, so I want to tell everybody I came to play, and you best stay out of my way.
Ooh, I like it. And finally, our resident mainstay, by popular demand, he's somewhere out in the wilderness. At least he's not driving this week. Let's give it up for Big Mike.
I am Big Mike, the conscience of the community.
Conscience of the community. I do like that. And he is back by popular demand. But now let's get into it. Now, the first round, each guest, you're going to have 30 seconds to respond to 3 different wrestling headlines from the week. Are you guys ready to go?
Bring it on.
All right.
Sure.
We are going to be starting with Mr. Guzman. So, Axel, the first question to you. There's turmoil backstage in AEW. Sammy Guevara and Andrade traded online jabs and then physical jabs backstage. What are we thinking about this?
What am I thinking? That's the only thing I can think about when it comes to AEW at the moment. I'm not worried about the storylines. I'm not worried about the character development. I don't even care about Saraya. I want to know what's going on backstage. That's the interesting points right now. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say. It's bad for business. Take away the personal feelings that you have for certain wrestlers. It's just bad for business. Nobody needs to know what's going on. Nobody should hear that you should go back to WWE like we all know you want to. Who's all? Why are you speaking for so many other people? You could have said, I just feel like it's just really, really bad for the business.
All right. And thank you so much. That was really good there. My timer was very delayed on that one. Do not know what happened there, but thank you for those good points. All right. Now we're going to be moving over to Misception. Misception's camera went out, but hopefully his audio still works. Misception, how are we buying this Sammy Guevara-Andrade feud?
To be perfectly honest, as much as I do believe that Sammy Guevara is creating all of his own problems, like for himself, I really don't see how this is too much different. Not like nothing, but not drastically different from other banter that we've seen before from people, either between companies or within a company. Does Sammy Guevara need to watch what he says? Absolutely. But at the same time, like, if you're getting riled up over words, like, it's wrestling. What do you expect? Especially if you're a wrestler like Andrade and Sammy. You know what I mean?
All right. Good points there. Blaming it all on the Sammy part. But let's see. WrestleMania. How do you feel about this?
This is just Tony bad leadership all the way through. I want you to think about something. By the time we found TMZ broke the news about the fight, right after I got it around 8:20, we're wondering, why is Sammy still in the match? I understand you built him to be in that match, but you could have changed it. And then the ending of the match, they just allowed Sammy to get over with the win, even though he has all this heat over him. Once again, Tony Khan doesn't know when to stop being a fan and when to start being a boss. That's all on him.
Ooh, all right. And finally, Big Mike, final thoughts on the backstage fighting.
Once again, let me follow up with the big idea that everybody's missing. I think this is going to be the next final segment on the dark side of the ring. Because all we're having here is more and more backstage drama. I feel like we're watching just the UWF or WCW or WCCW. We're just watching the slow downward spiral of what had a lot of promise. And I mean, it is what it is, but it's just a bad look all around. Let's not even talk about the product. It's just, you can tell that the whole thing is going downhill. They're starting to lose a lot of momentum. Not a good look for either one. And by the way, why is Sammy Guevara picking on somebody like 3 times his size?
Okay, that is true. Like, he definitely
got to get him over somehow.
You got to get over somehow. That is true. And speaking of getting over, are we experiencing the death of kayfabe? The next question is, Seth Rollins and Riddle are going at it tonight for Extreme Rules in the Fight Pit. However, in their promos leading up, we've seen a lot of talk about Riddle's personal life. Should Seth Rollins be using Riddle's personal life in promos? We're going to start with WrestleMania.
You know, it's all this is just kind of pretty much using what AEW's been using to get their talent over, using real life events to get your storyline, to get your promo, to get yourself over. And I have no problem with it, especially in the WWE. We're so used to having these written promos that don't really lead to anything. Now we're starting to see, okay, real life is happening within the WWE. This is signs of Triple H finally realizing what the wrestling fans want. I'm all good with it.
All right, Big Mike, how do you feel about the Riddle and Seth's promo?
I have been waiting to talk about this for a long time. I love it between Riddle and between Seth Rollins. I don't think kayfabe is dead, because I think they're just changing it. I think the dirt sheets and all of us internet creators, I think there's some people that get paid to put some stuff in. I think they're redoing kayfabe through the internet, because that's where we get all of our news. That's where we think we hear about the fight between Punk and them. It's a conspiracy. I think kayfabe is not dead. I just think that some smart people in different companies are feeding false information or feeding storylines they want, and they're doing it through the internet community to bring back kayfabe. Is this real? Do they have real heat? Do they not have real heat? What is it?
All right. We're getting a little bit over on our time there, Big Mike. We're going to need to watch that for the future, but we're going to move over to Misception. Misception, audio still work? 30 seconds on your clock.
Yes, I should still be good. Anyway, if kayfabe is evolving, then I really do believe that, generally speaking, companies just need to decide whether we're really going to lean into it or we're not going to. Because the thing is with this new evolved kind of kayfabe is that if you know the story, you know the story. If you don't, this means nothing to you. Whether it's Cody Rhodes saying you have the nerve to call yourself Brody to Brody King, or Paul Heyman saying the only reason you were world champion for years because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays. It's so selective on if the story is like work or not, on whether you know the info. So it's really dicey waters.
All right. Ooh, I like the way that the dicey waters gets put in it. Axel, we're going to finish the round with you. 30 seconds.
Kayfabe is dead, and that is your choice. You have your own choice. In my group chat, we get sent so many things. It's up to us if we want to know it or not. Sometimes we choose not to. Again, it is your choice. It's not dead. It's up to you. Now, the Seth and Riddle stuff, I love it. I simply love it. There's no issue with it. And you just got to remember, guys, I'm pretty sure Matt Riddle said it was okay. So I see no issue at all. It just brings back that old Attitude Era feel.
All right. Bringing back the old days of wrestling, which is what we really always wanted to get back to. That's when it was most popular. And speaking of most popular, with the new series premiere of WWE happening this week, we got new WWE commentary teams. And from Monday Night Raw to NXT, all the way to SmackDown, it seems like it's going to be completely different for everywhere except for Michael Cole and Corey Graves. So we're going to start with WrestleMania. Or no, we just started with WrestleMania. We're going to start with Big Mike. Big Mike, 30 seconds on the new commentary teams.
The only change I wish they would have made is Graves and Michael Cole. I'm tired of that team together. I need something new. I would say bring back Ronaldo, but that's never going to happen. The other ones I think are kind of insignificant. I think the color commentator and since like Jim Ross retired, I don't think they do a great job of selling it anymore. How many times have we just turned it off and just watched the match? I think it's insignificant until they break up Graves and Michael Cole.
All right. Well, they did break them up. They were just the only ones that stayed on their own show. But we will move on to Axel. Axel, 30 seconds.
Now, I was at SmackDown last night, so I didn't get a chance to see how Michael Cole and Wade Barrett did together. I'm pretty sure they did well. I'm going to simply rank it. SmackDown will probably be the better one. Then NXT. Raw's the one I really need to get some work with because there's a lot of people I don't know. So I'm going to give them a shot. But as far as I think they nailed it. I think they nailed it because, as we said, Corey Graves and Michael Cole are finally gone. They stayed on the shows, but I mean, can't make everyone happy.
All right. And we're going to move over to Misception. 30 seconds to you.
Sure. I didn't watch this past SmackDown, so I didn't see how Wade Barrett did as part of the SmackDown commentary crew, but I did see his work as part of the NXT commentary crew. I really loved it. I think he's really found a good role there. And generally speaking, I don't put too much emphasis because I personally don't make the commentary like the forefront of how I enjoy a show, or I don't think commentary makes or breaks whether or not I'm enjoying the match and the work that's going on inside the ring. So I don't really feel the need to rank them. I feel like either they do a good job or they don't, but generally speaking, it won't take away from the product under the Triple H creative.
All right. Good points there. Good points. And then finally, we're going to end it off with our WrestleMania.
I believe they still kept Corey Graves and Michael Cole together for the premium pay-per-views, which I'm okay with. That's the only one I care about. The other ones, you know, you look at Kevin, the Irish backstage interviewer, who's now going to be play-by-play. I don't think he's serious enough for me to take as seriously. Also, Booker T at NXT, I just kind of feel this is more or less Triple H, you know, thanking Booker T for keeping true to the company brand. I thought Wade Barrett did a good job last night, but come on, tonight I got Michael Cole, I got my boy Corey Graves. I'm all good.
All right, good points there. Good points there. I did forget about the pay-per-view live events being the duo, but I'm my only concern. I'm not in the game show, but where's Pat going to be when he comes back? I just hope he finds himself somewhere because that's the one I'm going to be missing. All right. And speaking of being back, we're going to be right back in just a short bit after round one. But first, let's go over our scores. We have, let me check here. Oh, in first place is Russell's Mania with 11 points. And we have a tie for second place between Axel Guzman and Misception with 10 points. And then coming in last right now is Big Mike with 6 points. Now, we're going to be taking a short break, but right before we get to that, I do have to tell you guys about this new GFuel Fallout Quantum Pack that they have coming out this month. So if you guys are very interested, you got to check out this new GFuel banner. It's Fallout 25 edition. They are having their new release. You guys got to check it out. There's 0 antioxidants, 140 milligrams of caffeine per serving. There's over 40 servings in each of those tubs, and you can get that awesome shaker with it. So go check that out. Use code the Macho Fan right here below me, and you'll get an extra discount at checkout. All right, guys, we'll be back with round two after this break.
Are you a fan of WWE, AEW, or just wrestling in general? Are you a fan of sports, gaming, or just trying to find somewhere to vibe? You gotta join Keepers Kayfabe, the Discord community that hosts the NGT promo battle community. If you want to know more about that, check this out.
Tally ho, everyone. NGT is home to some of the best promo artists this century.
Under the great banner of NGT and Hugs himself, we all invite you to come join us and do some promoing.
Yeah, go to war with us, boy. Come fight with us.
Even if you want to just have fun and play some games with us.
Come and sail the 7 seas with me.
Or maybe you feel the need to shoot to kill.
Or if you just want to put a smile on people's faces.
So, whether you want to compete,
Lion, I'm a tiger. I'm a lion. I'm a tiger. Or you just want to enjoy yourself. See, there's always something to do in NGT.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking!
Wow, that's no good! So get off your pathetic ass and join the Discord.
Whether you want to see the light
or embrace your darkness.
And make sure to join us at the NGT Discord. You'll find that most of the time the link is in most of our competitors and members' bios. Well, if you want to have some fun.
Or if you want to prove why you are the best since day one.
Where you can challenge some of the greats and legends. Or you can just mark out for them.
Because we've been here the whole time.
And welcome back to Ring the Bell. We are going to be starting with round 2 right now. And round 2 is buying or selling. So we are going to be, actually, look what I have here on the screen. We still have our GFuel Quantum Fallout pack up here. So if you guys didn't see before the break, make sure you do go check it out now. But before that, we are now going to start buying and selling some matches. So now I have my contestants ready. We're going to start buying and selling of National Scissoring Day. The National Scissoring segment by The Acclaim being the first homegrown tag team to win some championship belts. How are we feeling? Are we buying? Are we selling The Acclaimed as champions, or even the segment as a whole? We're going to be starting with our last place contender, which is Big Mike.
My name is Big Mike. I'm here to officially announce that I'm old. I'm turning in my young card, and I'm pulling up the dad pants. I get it. It's a new D-Generation X kind of thing with a suck it, and it's the scissor. I get it. 100%. I get it. I'm just at that point in my life where I've got to sell this just because I think it's overdone. I think it's reaching a little bit, and I think it is a little bit more crude than the DX chop. So I got to sell this. Not a big fan.
All right, not a big fan. Ooh, I'm interested to see how everyone else starts with it. So Misception's got his camera back working. Let's see what his thoughts are on the scissoring.
First things first, hard disagree that it's any more or less bad or risque than the DX chop, because I think it's actually doing a great thing for bringing the whole scissoring phrase like out of this connotation that people have of it being like an NSFW phrase. And I think as homegrown talent, it's important that we let these guys continue to get over doing what they want to do and doing what's been working for them. Again, as homegrown talent, I think this is important for people not having that stigma with AEW anymore. Let the Acclaim do what they want to do.
All right, and now Axel. You're muted. Oh, there you go. 30 seconds.
There we go. Timer's up. I'm buying this. I'm taking all the vowels. I was not a big fan of The Acclaimed, and they made me buy in. If you can get something like scissor me daddy ass over, there's something there. And then the homegrown talent part, they deserved it from the start. They've been killing it. I love it. I mean, who doesn't love The Acclaimed? Who doesn't? And that's really it.
All right, and our leader of the pack right now, WrestleMania.
National Scissoring Day is in my top 5 segments, greatest segments of all time in AEW history. I'm going to start with that segment first. The fact that they acknowledge the fact that, hey, there's some people who think scissoring means one thing. We're going to make this, we're going to explain the concept of it. That's brilliant, especially if you're trying to bring in the casual fan. I was there at All Out when you hear the Scissor Me Daddy. Like, it's real. The love that you hear in the ring is not artificial. I'm buying it. I already bought my Scissor Me Daddy shirt in soft pink. That's how committed I am.
Ooh, and got it in the soft pink. All right, interesting. All right, in this next round, we're going to be starting out with Misception, and we are going to be buying or selling Legado de Fantasma, debuting on SmackDown last night with Zelina Vega taking over Elektra's managerial valet kind of position. How are we feeling about that Misception, the NXT call-up?
Had this been under the previous creative team, I wouldn't have cared, and at most I would have felt a little bit skeptical / scared for Zelina and the rest of Legado. But now under the Triple H creative, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, seeing what he's been able to do with the WWE product already, not just for SmackDown, but for all of the brands. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Zelina can bring to the table, especially because I think she'll be better than the previous woman whose name is escaping me that was part of the faction. So I think it'll be overall a really good thing for all of them.
All right. And then we're going to be moving over to Axel.
Okay. First off, you already know. Let this be a lesson to everyone. If you ever have an idea, never go to sleep break that idea down, because I said it would be perfect for Santos and his group to come and debut against Hit Row because of what they were doing in NXT. It was good. And also for BFAB, who's, I love her, but she's green in the ring. Someone like Selena is going to help her. And again, this is something from NXT. It's helping the talent that you're bringing up from NXT. Like, oh yeah, this is that person. This is that. It's just perfect. And the way that they viewed it, I loved it.
All right. And then Big Mike.
Look, in order to be a Latino star and be big on SmackDown or Raw, you have to be over the top. Rey Mysterio's over the top. Eddie Guerrero was over the top. These guys' work inside the ring is just as good, but if we're trying to get over on those two brands, it hasn't changed for us in America to more of a Japanese style where people get over a lot based on in-ring, right? And even though we want it to, it doesn't. I got to sell it. I just am not interested in any storylines.
Ooh, interesting. I like the differentiated attitude from it. So let's see here. Now, WrestleMania.
First of all, I want to give a shout out to my Latinos in Michigan who watch SmackDown. I know you guys are appreciating it. I'm buying it because we're finally getting factions in WWE. Like in the last years of Vince, it was hard for him to even put together the New Day to go up against some other faction. But now we're starting to get these different factions that you can rely on. If you like urban hip hop, Hit Row's the place. If you think that, Lions Destiny is good, you go with the Bloodline. This is all good. I'm loving it.
All right. And I like that segue of going from the faction creation. Let's talk about the trios titles from AEW Rampage. So with Andrade and 10 not being able to have their match, we saw the Dark Order have a rematch for the trios titles. However, Death Triangle did retain. But in that match, we saw an amazing amount of trios tag team moves and trios tag team wrestling, which a lot of wrestling fans are new to. How are we liking these trios tag teams? And do we think it's going to go over? Are we buying or selling? We're going to start with, let's stick with WrestleMania.
I'm going to buy trios wrestling. I think that trios wrestling is the way to go. You're giving more opportunity to people, but I really want to focus on the ending of that match I don't buy the fact that you did a whole program with Andrade in them, and then all of a sudden you use them to win, not only once but twice that night. If you're gonna do something like that, at least make it make sense to me. But going back to trios, I'm all good with it.
All right, going back to trios, we are all good with it. Well, that is good to hear. Now let's move over to see if Axel is all good with it. Axel, how are you feeling about trios wrestling?
I'm buying it. I was waiting for those titles for so long. Tony really got on my nerves with the waiting for Kenny and the Young Bucks and everything like that. I've wanted WWE to do something like this for so long. The storylines too, they're just matching up. Certain people should have won, but I love Death Triangle right now. And like you said, the stuff in the ring, I mean, come on. The trios, and if it wasn't for the trio stuff, I wouldn't really be watching Will Ospreay. So again, AEW doing something that's bringing me to other talents.
All right. Yeah, they are able to branch out with those because finding trios is kind of hard. But Misception, how do you feel about the trios wrestling?
On a personal level, I am completely hooked on it because I don't think any company has an excuse to not do it, given the sheer amount of companies that aren't WWE and AEW that have been doing them, currently doing them, did them in the past. And also because I love Death Triangle, the Lucha Brothers and Pac. I love what they're doing. I love their moves. That being said, I can also understand why some people may not be sold on it just due to the wishy-washy booking and a lot of the things you can nitpick. But on the whole, I feel like if you can look past that and give the benefit of the doubt, I feel like trios wrestling can be a really good thing, and that bad stigma can be taken away almost entirely.
All right. And then finally, Big Mike, how we feeling?
I will be the Wilford Brimley old grumpy guy of the group today. I'm selling it. And here's why. You guys did get it right. It's about creating new storylines and talent and using them. But what that means is that there's a deficiency in pushing those storylines higher up the card. We've got to worry about some other storylines that they want to push really, really hard that doesn't work. It doesn't matter how you form these rivalries, these storylines. if you're mismanaging them, then it's going to fail again.
All right. Good points there. Good points there. And then now we're going to go into our next topic. Our next topic is going to be the QR code marketing leading up to Extreme Rules with the White Rabbit. Are we buying or selling the way this is used? And if you want to, make a guess who you think it's going to be. And we're going to be starting with Misception.
Personally, I'm selling this, not because I hate the White Rabbit stuff. I like the White Rabbit stuff, but purely because the WWE audience is generally casual, a hell of a lot more casual than a lot of other promotions out there. So the QR code stuff, while it is a nice way to integrate modern technology and get with the times, generally speaking, I don't think the WWE demographic would really be getting into that kind of thing. And they're just looking to see like what's on screen. I feel like they care way more about just what they can see with their eyes than what they have to go out of their way to learn technologically. So I don't think it's the smartest thing.
All right, WrestleMania. Let's hear what you have to think.
I'm gonna buy it, but I really, really wish they would have toned back on it. Now we're starting to see it not more as something's gonna happen. It's more like a secret running joke that you have to work a lot on. Like now everything that we're seeing on screen can be considered a clue. Even if a random fan's just dressed up as Bray Wyatt, somehow he's the clue that ties everything together. I think they should have did it sparingly, but I'm okay with this in the future. And I'm just gonna say, guys, my prediction, it's The Rock. The Rock shows up tonight. That's my prediction.
I would honestly pop for that. All right, Big Mike, though, let's see what you have to think about the White Rabbit.
Quiet down, whippersnappers. Let the old guy talk. Listen, I bought New Balance shoes the other day. I get excited if I go to the store and get the cool kind of oven cleaner. We don't get to be cool that much anymore when we're older and we don't get technology all the time. So the fact that they're doing this and I get it, even though my son had to show me like where to go and stuff, I'm hooked now. I sit in my Barker Lounger with my Werther's Originals and I poke around on this thing thinking about dials, and it's great and I love it. Thank you.
All right. And then Axel, let's round this out.
I'm buying it. I'm taking it. And it's just the best thing. This is Triple H. You guys ever heard of a thing called Cyber Sunday? The interaction with the fans? That's what this is. How can you not love this? He's letting do you know how I'm going insane with all the clues. And I saw a man dressed in a White Rabbit outfit on SmackDown circle the whole arena, just walking slowly. It's just Triple H with his mic the whole time it wasn't there. He flipped it over real quick. QR code. The interaction is just beautiful. And Bray Wyatt.
All right. And then for our
with me and Big Mike, I went on a date last night wearing New Balances. I respect.
All right, that one is definitely getting shared out on social media. All right, and then for our final topic in round 2, are we buying or selling LA Knight? Yeah. Or did we miss the Max Dupree with his maximum male models? Well, we're going to find out, and we're going to start with Big Mike.
I like LA Knight better. I never liked the fashion gimmick thing. You could have incorporated that into LA Knight's kind of persona. You didn't have to really go all of that. I don't think it ever worked. I would still love to see them get back to Eli Drake because that's even better. But since I can't have that, I have to go with the next best thing. And I love the LA Knight gimmick when he did the whole $1 million champion gimmick around that time. I loved it. It was great.
All right. And Misception.
You can't miss something that the general population never even wanted in the first place. Nobody was screaming for anything along the lines of a maximum male modeling type gimmick or type of segments. LA Knight is a way better fit for the types of things that the former Eli Drake should be doing, not being Max Dupree. I feel like if he can get over in damn near every other promotion he was in, then he can apply that same thing on the greatest stage of them all. Again, it was one of those things that was always like a thorn in the creative side under the Triple H banner. Always one of the things that when I watched SmackDown, I never understood why he was still doing. I'm glad we're moving away.
All right. A lot of words there. Misception is able to machine gun those words out, but let's move over to Axel. Axel, 30 seconds.
Yeah. Listen, I love it. I'm glad they're finally going back to LA Knight. It's what he's best at. I just feel like they gave this to him because he needs to beat up on somebody. Come on, it's LA Knight. That's what he does. And I will say this, that at TakeOver, the War Games, out of all 4 of old school NXT, it was LA Knight who attracted me to that with that promo backstage in the locker room. He made me watch that. That Pat, I'm just happy LA Knight is back.
All right. And then finally, we are going to end this round with WrestleMania. Russell?
I'm gonna buy it. And can we just admit that this was possibly the best, quickest reboot of a character in WWE history? Most people have to go off stage, go off TV for like several months at a time to come back with a new gimmick. For the last 5 weeks, we've seen Max pretty much regress back into his LA Knight form. Triple H has his hands on the pulse right now. I really do wish Tony Khan would just copy from him and do that in AEW.
Oh, interesting take there. Copy and paste. Well, we don't need that plagiarism thus far because we are getting good segments from both shows, and we are going to be having to come back to a break here shortly. But first, we need to find out who's going to be in our top 2 to go to our video showdown. And while I look at the scores, it was very close. And coming in second place is Axel Guzman, 1017 with 26 points. And then coming in first place is the short drum roll, and it's Brussels Mania with 28 points. So thank you, Misception, and thank you, Mike, for joining us. But we are going to be seeing Axel and WrestleMania in our video showdown. But before that, we're going to stop with this short break, and I'll see you guys here shortly.
So GFuel sent me these WWE shakers, and I'm going to give them away to you. First, we gotta check out some new products here at GNC. All right, so we got the new GFuels here. This is the Divine Peach, the Sour Power, and the
Miami Night.
And guess what, guys? I'm gonna give these away to you right now, so stay tuned. All right, this is what we're going to be giving away. First prize is going to win all 3 of the new ready-to-drink cans, the NWO shaker, as well as some of the hydration powder. That's 30 servings of that hydration powder to try out with your new NWO cup. And there's not just going to be one winner. We're going to have a second winner as well, and they're going to win the Stone Cold Steve Austin shaker as well as some of the hydration powder as well.
Welcome back to round 3. We are with our video showdown with our second place contender, Axel Guzman, and our first place, Russell's Mania. Now in round 3 is a video showdown. Each contestant will watch this short clip and have 60 seconds to respond. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
All right, since Russell was in first place, he was able to choose his video, and he chose video B. So Axel, you'll go first, and you will watch video A. So let me get that ready for you. And you are going to be watching video A. Oh, and play. All right. And if you guys did not know the background knowledge from that, that's Darby Allin, and he fell off a 92-foot waterfall. And you have 60 seconds, Axel.
You got it. You got it, Darby. You got it. You want to? All I thought is, you got it. You got it, Darby. You overdid Jeff. You did it. If that's what you're going for, you did it. Because let me tell you something. I had to take a quick second and look at that title because did I read that right? I love Darby because, again, he reminds me of a younger Jeff Hardy that I used to watch. So But can we tone it down though? Because I like you. I like watching you. That was kind of dangerous. I don't. But then the other side of me is like, can he do it again? But just from seeing it, I got excitement. It's Darby Allin. If you're going on the route, if you want to do the Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin thing, if you want to use that, you can use it, because I don't even think, especially at this age, I don't think Jeff's doing that. So that was crazy.
Shirley was insane. I am glad he is okay. And so now let's get into Russell's video, and that's going to be video B.
This is what we do. This is what we do. This is what we do.
I'm going to give you 1 minute, Russell.
I love moments that we get to see Big E just being Big E for the sake of being Big E. I'm so happy that he's back together. I know we're still dealing with the loss of him not being on SmackDown with that neck injury. And keep in mind, I believe that the doctors are doing everything possible to make sure that he can come back as as best as he can. But moments like this kind of shows you what WWE is good at. It's good at bringing in your big time wrestlers and bring them to the mainstream. And this is one of those times that it works. Big E is a big Iowa fan, so it makes sense that we be at that Iowa-Michigan game. I just really hope that one day soon we get to see Big E, because I feel if you looked at the last 6 months of his first run, he didn't really get all the breaks that he needed. I felt that you shouldn't have put the title on him on day one. He was robbed of it. We should have seen him at least go to WrestleMania for it. But, get well soon, Big E.
All right, good points there. And yes, get well soon, Big E, because we do miss you on our TV screens. All right, and now that was the end of round 3. So now it's the moment of truth. And another very close one. This was a 1-point difference. And the winner of Ring the Bell episode 3 and going on to get the final 2 minutes is Russell's Mania with 7 additional points when Axel had the 6 additional. So congratulations, Russell. You finally did it. And as per usual on every episode of Ring the Bell, the winner gets to get the final 2 minutes. So Russell, the final 2 minutes is yours.
I had already planned out my 2-minute speech about how overrated Jeff Hardy is, but hearing Axel say that Darby was over than Jeff Hardy, I will accept it, and I might just save that for another time. I want to focus the next couple of segments into talking about what leadership is, especially from the fact of how you run a company. Leadership does what's right, not just for one person, but for everybody. If you do something the right way, people will follow you into the depths of wherever you need to go and bring you the results. I bring this up because I do not see that coming out of Tony Khan right now. The last 4 months has just been really bad decision after bad decision. And yes, you can blame some of it on injury problems, but at the end of the day, Tony is still the person running the ship, and I don't think he's doing that good of a job compared to what he's been able to do for the first 2 years of this company. He's allowing his fanhood to cloud his decision making. The fact that Sami Zayn got into a fight and you sent one person home, but you kept one other person to win the main event of your show tells me that you're thinking more of a fan. You're thinking Sami Zayn is my favorite, so I'm going to give him the rub, even if he caused all this commotion, possibly through the first punch. It makes sense to me to put Sami first. I don't think that's going to help Sami out at all. Sami's already got new people. He doesn't need anything more to come out of this. So Tony, pick a lane, become a leader, and do the right thing for his company. And now, I would just like to say, if I have seconds, Jeff Hardy is overrated and Axel can't do anything about it. So have a great day, everybody. Love you, Axel. Love you.